up against that man right there, Lionel Messi and Barcelona, possibly the La Liga champions this year, Stevie. So first and foremost, it's at the Camp Nou first. Favor for Liverpool, I think you would think, to have them back at Anfield. But how do you see them lining up in this first clash?
I think the front three picks itself. The back five, including the goalie, picks itself. But in recent times, I used to think that Klopp's preference was Milner, Wijnaldum and Henderson. But I'm not quite sure now whether he knows what his best three is, because he has chopped and changed them. He has had all kinds of combinations. So for people like me, it's been very difficult to try and guess which three he's going to play. So I'm going to go with the tried and trusted. Yes, they're going to have to be more defensive than normal, but they will try and attack. I mean, they really only know how to go one way, and that's forward. But you have to start with a sensible base. And so the three in the middle, I think, will be the tried and trusted, which will be Henderson, Wijnaldum and Milner for me.
All right, and then now the big question, of course. How do you stop Lionel Messi? That is definitely the question that plagues any team that goes up against him. Start back to front. Go ahead.
They will not do a man-man marking job on this guy. For two reasons. One, it's not Klopp's style to go changing his whole system for one guy. As good as Messi is, it's not his. And the other reason is 1,000 teams have tried to man mark this guy, and none of them have succeeded. So it shows that to upset your whole strategy to do a man marking job has shown not to work. So why would you mess your team up? When you're playing against the likes of somebody like Messi, it's about when he comes into a certain area in the field, somebody has to take responsibility of closing him down.
Who's that going to be?
Well, it depends on what area of the field he is. If he's dropping back in the middle, then whoever plays right down the pipe, it's him. If he's drifting on a wider side, then it's the outside of the three on either side. So sometimes the centre-back might have to step in as well. So it's really about being smart. But Liverpool have got smart players. That's why they're challenging for the Premier League. That's why they've got this far in the Champions League, because not only do they have ability and good mental strength, but they've got smart players and they've got smart defenders, as smarter defenders as any other team. Are you finally
Comfortable with the defence? Because I know that's been an area of concern for you.
To be honest, ever since a certain guy called Van Dijk came, it's completely transformed the defence. I've got to say, Alisson in goal as well has hugely contributed. So, yeah, the defensive side of it doesn't worry me, but yes, Messi does. Because you'd be daft not to worry about this guy.
Well, speaking of concerns, because I was definitely going to ask you that, any concerns that you have going into this fixture, would one of them be basically juggling the Premier League title race that's going on now? Because Barcelona pretty much seem to have wrapped things up in La Liga. They can grow into cruise mode there and focus solely on this fixture. But Liverpool, it still seems like it's going down to the wire with City.
I actually think it's better for Liverpool to be stepping on the field and having to have an edge every single time. Listen, I played in the Liverpool side that won the league, 3 and 4 weeks before, and we went to a cup final, and we'd lost that edge, and we couldn't just turn it on like that.
You got too comfortable?
Well, when you're not, a professional footballer is at his best when he's got an edge. And when you're going into games with no edge, with no real purpose to win the game because the league's tied up, then that edge is not there. So Barcelona have to be very careful that by the time this game comes around, they haven't lost that edge, or these two games. Because if they have, then that will give, obviously, Liverpool a huge advantage.
All right, well, I'm sure there's plenty of